should I say, in their gullet. It's very, very cool to watch. In fact, the European rollers are a little bit better at it, but these guys still are no sissies when it comes to actually taking on large insects. And let's see, well, the wind's gusting a bit, so maybe it'll take off. It seems as though it's fairly happy where it is, and look at how the tail is working. You can see how the tail is just flicking up and down, trying to just balance it as it sits on top of this very exposed branch. That's the problem with being on an exposed branch, is that you end up being bounced around by the wind, and so not the best place to sit. John, you say great colors on this bird. Well, indeed, they are probably one of the most colorful birds we actually have out here in South Africa. There are others that have lots of greens and reds, but in terms of just numbers of colors and the vibrance of the bird, these guys definitely are one of the best. And in nice light, when they fly, that blue becomes electric blue, and it really is quite something to see them in flight, particularly when they do their display flight, which is what gives them their name, roller. That's when they'll go from a perch like this, and then they fly up, and they go up into the sky, and they'll go, and then they'll start tumbling down, almost like a roller, in that they do this, and they kind of do this free fall. It's really very, very cool to see. Okay, well, he's not going to fly, so onward and forward. Let's go see if we can't go and find Tundi and Tumba now and just show just how competitive we can be, because now it's on. Oh, and of course the lilac-breasted roller flew away as well. Flow or flew? I can't speak today, Seb. I don't know what's wrong with me. Something is wrong. Fly, flew, flee. I feel like I need to get James back, because James kind of gets us into pronouncing words well, and his conversation at the dinner table is always good. Now, I did see a beautiful bird fly in here. Now, where, oh, where are you? Okay, I'm just going to sit still for 2 seconds. In this guarri bush was a bush shrike. Now, I didn't see if it was an orange-breasted bush shrike or a grey-headed bush shrike that flew in here. I just saw the flash of green going in, and now I'm trying to spot where it could be within this guarri bush, but I don't see it. Their camouflage is very good when they get behind the branches. Where are you, bush shrike? Hopefully it didn't fly out the back and I just didn't see it, but I'm sure it landed here. They are quite secretive birds, and if its back is to us, it's going to be very difficult to spot it in these pale greens, because that color is exactly the same. Now, the bird that I'm talking about, I'm going to try finding the book while I scan around for it, so you can see what I'm talking about and not think that I'm absolutely crazy and just sort of talking nonsense, and hopefully it will show itself just now. But let's find it in the book quickly. Bush shrike, chagra, there we go. Now you can see this is a beautiful family as well. Now, we've just seen the lilac-breasted rollers, which have beautiful colors, and these are the other guys that are very, very pretty. So it's either this bird here, which has got that gray cap, and you can see it's why it's called a grey-headed bush shrike. Now, this is a rather large bird, so I don't think it was that. It seemed a little bit smaller, so I think it was this one here on top, which you can see also has the grey cap, but is a much smaller bird than what the grey-headed bush shrike is, and you get both of them in this area. So I'm pretty sure it's one of these. Now, it's just somewhere inside there, and I can't see it. I'm still trying to look and trying to find it, but alas. Oh, there it goes. Where are you landing? No. Oh, it flew away, guys. It flew out of the bush and flew away. Oh, no. It's one of those afternoons, Seb. It's sitting in plain sight, unfortunately. Ooh, Bobby, you're wanting to know which bird do I think does the best mating display here in South Africa? Well, I think there's two that I really like. So the one is the red-crested Koran, which flies up into the sky, and it really is not a good flyer, so already that's a lot of effort. So I feel like him making the effort to fly is already a statement. But he goes up, and then he free falls in a death-defying leap to the ground, and he comes crashing towards the ground, and at the last second, poof, opens his wings and lands with grace. So he becomes this absolute sort of hero in the eyes of many, and so he'll be one of the ones. And then I think the other one, funnily enough, and I'm trying to put it in reverse because I want to just check a track here quickly. The other one I always think that does a really good job is... Those are baboon tracks, never mind, let's not focus on those. is the ostrich. I feel like the ostrich needs some credit. It's not a pretty bird. It doesn't have the good looks of the rollers and the bush shrikes and these kind of birds, but yet it does its dance and it flaps its feathers all over the place and its feathers go everywhere, and it courts that female, and it really puts a lot of effort into it. So for me, those are the two males. They're drab, they're not very interesting to look at, but they put a lot of effort in to try and make things entertaining for the females, and well, apparently the females enjoy it. So those are my top two. I don't know if anybody else has any ones. Megs, do you have a bird that you know that does a nice mating call? Seb? No? No, I think I've covered the two best. The rollers have a pretty cool one where they go up into the air. Megs? No, nothing. No birds of Cape Town, Megs? Well, there are birds in Cape Town, but they'll do a different type of display than what we're talking about. That's for sure. And I'm sure Byron would be able to elaborate on that topic. Seagulls? What do seagulls do, Seb?
Mine.
So Seb is busy mimicking the Finding Nemo movie where it goes mine. Well, I suppose yes, they do that, Seb, and so that's a lot of irritation. They've got the irritation factor, so instead of doing the wow factor, they do the irritation. So they just call the female until she just really can't stand that she's calling. Now, Seb, do you see what I see in front of me here? Littering the road on the left-hand side.
Not yet. No.
But if you focus in on the road, you'll see what I see.
Okay. Sorry, yes.
So it's like a riddle for Seb. We're just trying to wake Seb up on the back there because Seb's had...
I was looking at something else. You mean this?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Those right there look like tracks for a leopard, do they not? Yes, they do, and that's because those are tracks for a leopard. Now, these are tracks that I found this morning, and they were steaming fresh, but I was on my way to try and find Tundi and Tumba, and so I ignored them. But I want to have a very close look at these because I have a sneaky suspicion that these could be for little Hosanna. I don't think that these are Tumba's tracks. They don't move in the area where Tumba was or seen in any way, and they came out of Little Gowrie up into this direction, and then they cut into the typical way that Hosanna goes, which is to the left here and into this block. So I want to just have a closer sort of look at them and pay a little bit more attention to them and see if they actually are for Hosanna or if these are for a female. So I'm going to try and pull the car up so that you can all inspect it with me. Oh, yes, definitely a young male leopard. Now, Seb, can you get those, or is that going to be quite tough?
The car doesn't roll over, yes?
No, the car won't roll over, don't worry. This is extreme safari, Seb, you don't have to worry. Just, I'll put the brake down and everything will be fine. You don't have to stress, I promise you, everything's going to be okay. But our leopard track, and the reason why I know it's a male is just from the size of it, as well as how round this track is. So, if we have a look here, a female leopard generally has quite a long elongated track, even on the back and front foot, whereas the male leopard back and front is quite circular. So if I did a circle around it, you can see it almost makes a perfect circle. If I did one for a female leopard, I would end up with that kind of shape, more of an oval shape than the circular shape of a male leopard. It's also quite small. We know that a big adult male leopard track would probably be slightly bigger and bulkier than that, so I would say this is either Hosanna or Tumba that walked here. But we don't see any track for another leopard, and we know that Tumba yesterday morning was with Tundi and again this morning, so I don't think he would have left Tundi too much yesterday, and I'm pretty sure that these could be for Hosanna. These tracks were fresh when I saw them this morning. They looked as though they were on top of everything, even Impala tracks of a herd of Impala that I had seen about 10 minutes before. So I think that he might be somewhere in this area, and I'm definitely going to try and check around. Twin Dams is not far away, so we're going to check Twin Dams, see if he maybe didn't loop back that way. Also going to check a couple of these termite mounds, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get lucky. What do you think, Seb? Okay, here's the test now. When I get into the car, because I'm not a light fella, as Byron always alludes to, if I pull on the car, hopefully it's not going to fall over. Are you ready, Seb? Oh, Seb. No, we're alright. Look at that. We survived, Seb. Not only have I tried to kill you with bees, I've tried to kill you with a rolling vehicle. It's been a tough afternoon for you. Right. Little leopard, where are you? Now, a little bird in my ear named Megan has told me that our friend, another little bird all the way in the Masai Mara, has found something very exciting. So rather than watching me trying to kill Seb, let's go across to Jamie, who has something that kills, well, a lot of other things.
It's very, very far away. And a warm welcome to the Mara part of our sunset safari. My name is Jamie. This afternoon Dave is on camera with me, and Dave and I have been battling the elements, so to speak, with the rain that is slowly but steadily increasing in volume, wouldn't you say, Dave? Just as we managed to get all of our covers back up, the rain is coming down again, and there are lions very, very far away. But the good thing is that this is ideal hunting weather. Perfect hunting conditions. This morning I spent most of the morning with the Angama pride, and that's the lioness over there. And if I were to guess as to what she's doing, I would say that she's scoping out the buffalo herd in front of her and thinking about a possible hunt. And I'm sure the rest of the lionesses are around here somewhere. You can see the other vehicles moving past, hoping for a glimpse of them. I don't feel so bad about missing them the first time, Dave, given that we were driving in the tent with the windscreen, without a windscreen wiper. I definitely don't feel too bad. So it is hunting weather. One lioness is very hungry. This morning, for those of you that missed it, we actually got to see 3 brand new additions to this pride, or relatively brand new, about 6 weeks or so old. And the mother of those particular cubs didn't look as though she got any of the wildebeest meal that they managed to catch yesterday afternoon on the sunset safari. I'm sure that she's thinking about her stomach. She's got 3 hungry mouths to keep well fed. And I imagine that those are the plans for the evening. Everything ties in perfectly, though, because this morning, this is where I ended off the sunrise safari with a massive herd of zebra, probably at least 100, probably a couple of 100. And then all of a sudden, when I arrived back here this afternoon, it was completely barren. Not a sign of a zebra anywhere. And I think that's because the lions came wandering through and moved off into this area, and I think that scared away the zebra. You might even find that they actually tried to catch one. Although at this distance, they could have one that they're feeding on, and it's quite tricky to see. But the lovely thing about this is that they are right at the base of the mountain that we live on, essentially. We are directly below Angama Mara, and that bodes well for the day ahead. Now, Riti, speaking of lionesses and new mothers, can you see any of the rest of the pride there, Dave? I just see buffalo everywhere. Sorry, Riti, you were wondering whether or not a lioness can get pregnant multiple times in her lifetime. Yes, absolutely she can. Did I understand that correctly, Rebecca? Sorry, I'm still struggling a little bit to hear the questions coming through. The lions definitely have more than one pregnancy. In fact, they are quite a resilient animal in terms of their reproductive rate. So if their numbers drop, lions are capable of reproducing quite rapidly. And they'll usually have around about 2 or 3 cubs per litter. They can have up to 6, but around about 2 or 3 is the norm. And that will happen every 2 or so years. So once the cubs reach about 1.5 years or so, sometimes even around about 2, the mother will start to mate once again, and she will then fall pregnant once again. And she'll be pregnant for around about, give or take, a couple of days, 3 months, and then she will give birth to the next litter of cubs. She's gone flat, hasn't she, Dave? I think she has. I think she's completely vanished now. She was underneath the tree to the left. There's another storm rolling in, and I think this might be her opportunity. She was at the base of that tree on the left of your screen there. And now I don't see her at all. I wonder if perhaps she's not thinking about going for those buffalo. Might be worth going down to the bottom of the hill. Beard, you wonder if it's easy to mistake the smaller trees for animals. It is. It's very easy to do, especially at night when we're practicing with our thermal imaging technology as a way of spotting animals. I find that the odd little shrub has given me a cause for a double take, as do the rocks a lot, because the rocks of course retain the heat of the day. Not that there's going to be much heat of the day today. Look at this. Look at what's coming, Dave. I stand by our decision to keep at least one half of the rain covers on. Apparently the bad weather always blows in from the east. That is directly east, and it's on its way to us as we speak. I'm still struggling to predict the weather here. I was quite convinced this was going to blow over and it was all going to be absolutely fine this afternoon. The wind disagreed with me, and now the rain is... Oh, that's some serious rain. It just goes to show, even though we're out of the rainy season here, it still continues to rain. Jules, you say at least it's a beautiful view. It is a beautiful view, is it not? It is an absolutely stunning view. All the way from Serena in the south, right up along the Mara River. I don't think I'm going to leave these lions, even though we're struggling to see them right now. I think there's the possibility of a hunt. But while we stick with the cat we know, let's go and see whether Ali has any luck with her leopards.
No luck with the leopard so far, but we have found a very curious and jumping dwarf mongoose. It's been having quite a good time, and I think the rest of the clan are all around here having a very good time. I think the grass is a bit long, and they clearly are not enjoying that all too much, and they have been jumping pretty much like mice all around. Up you go. I think also they don't feel as safe in this particular areas where there isn't as much grass, because there isn't as much cover for them to hide. So they are a bit more vulnerable to any potential prey that might be looking at them in the distance or might come down flying. I think they are all busy trying to look for food. It seems like this little one is digging. Indeed. Digging perhaps for any grubs or any small insects that might be hiding in the dirt. There we go. Very funny little creatures are in there. I think there are about maybe 10-15 of them all running around, and they seem to be having a very good time. And oh, look, we've also got a tiny little wannabe leopard. Bree, you say it's a mongoose obstacle course. I think it is, because they are absolutely loving it, going up and down and then jumping around and looking for food. So I'm sure they sometimes do it just for fun too. Just because, just like little children go and they start skipping around. What's happening? Did you get a fright? Look at that. Whew, tiny little things. Aren't they just wonderful? I think they are incredible little creatures, and I could spend endless hours just watching the mongoose going the one direction, and then they run back into the other one, and then they all run together, and then they get scared, and they all scatter in different directions. I think they're quite funny little creatures. I used to know a banded mongoose. His name was Rambo, because he was a very fierce mongoose, and he had a bad habit of always wanting, just like that little one did, that because he can't see above the ground, so they jump onto their back legs and just look around, pretty much like that leopard was doing yesterday in the Mara. But this one, Rambo, he was clearly on another level, because he decided that, his own 2 feet weren't good enough. So he would always come if I was sitting down, and then come and jump on my head, and then stand on top of my head to, scan the area, which it's endearing, because then he's looking after me. But I also felt quite used by the mongoose. I think they've all gone now down into an area that's a bit thicker. So we're going to leave them here and perhaps make our way all the way to Buffalo's Dam and see if there are any creatures lurking out and about over there. The Molowati has become a dreaded area for me, because I don't think the tracks have come out. We have checked the road, and we've checked the road where they could have come out again, and it seems like There is nothing there. But Tristan, who he says that is not really as competitive as me, hello, are you looking at us? I think he's gonna go and also try and have a look around in that area. So, we'll see. Hopefully he'll have more luck than me. I do think that Tamdi and Tamba have a soft spot for him, the way he does for them. Hello. Oh, this is wonderful. I think we found where these guys are gonna be staying for the night. Look at also that great camouflage between the color of their skin and just the color of the termite mound, the color of the soil. Ah, hello! Your tiny noses! You guys are actually a bit dirty now that we can see you so closely. And you see those very big ears, very attentive looking. Every single sound, it turns its head and then starts looking around. And that pretty tiny nose, what? There's a youngster there. Guys, I think your termite mound is a bit full of cobwebs because you guys are a bit dirty. Oh. Well, you look like a bit of a bully. You just pushed the one day. Sorry, I didn't catch who made the comment, but or the question that are mongoose good at catching snakes? Summer, you were asking if mongoose are indeed good at catching snakes. Well, they are, and I've seen them on quite a few occasions battle their way with some of the most dangerous ones. So they do have a reputation for a reason. Sorry, I was just trying to let somebody know that they can come and have a look. But I think this is definitely one of the alpha ones. I mean, look how much bigger it is in comparison to the rest of them, and also a bit fat. So I wonder if it's actually not the alpha female. There's a tiny one there to the left. Oh no, it's gone back down. So I wonder if perhaps it's not pregnant. I'm gonna have to move back just to let these guys through. So while I do that, just bear with me for 1 second, and then we will go back to solve the mystery, because that is definitely the biggest and fattest dwarf mongoose I have ever seen. But while we reposition, let's go over to Jamie, who's got a very fierce lion that she would like to show us. Hello, sorry. Good.
I actually didn't have to look too far. They're exactly where they were earlier. But in this case now, we have two. Two heads have popped up and are soaking up the rain. And the more I think about it, the more alert, or the more I watch them, the more alert they seem. And I think I can't quite decide what to do, because at the moment we're in a good position to keep our equipment dry. But on the other hand, we're still quite far away. But the rain is coming in harder and harder, and the skies are looking grayer up ahead. And I think that if they're going to hunt, that's the opportunity that they're going to seize, with the sort of the height of the storm. And it's coming soon, Dave. I think we should move. I think we should move now. And actually, might even put us in an even better position for this rain. We might not. The problem is, we might not be able to see them from down there at the road. But if they do go for the buffalo, we'll be in the perfect position. Okay, let's head on out. Now at any moment we could take off, given this, although the wind seems to have died down a bit. Dave, how are you doing at the back there? Are you getting... okay. You seem to be quite dry. But Jennifer, the sound of the rain on the roof is actually wonderful. It's a very soothing sound. And the nice thing about living in the Mara is that we're now in tents. And I, for one, have always loved living in a tent. I really enjoy the sound of the rain on canvas or rain on a roof, rather than it being muffled by a ceiling. So I agree completely. I love the sound of the rain. And the smell of the rain, actually. And the gentle drips flowing down the roof, or down the side. Just cover up my monitor again. Okay. Sorry, Rebecca, you broke up a little bit there. What did you say? Sorry, Dave, I need your help. Okay. Well, we're just about to go around the corner. How's about this, Rebecca? How about we go and see if we can see the lions around the corner? I'm not too worried about the rain coming in at the moment. We seem to be okay. Oh, hello. Here we go. Now I can hear Rebecca perfectly. So as long as I hold the radio, it's fine. It just... Hey. Just can't rest in my lap for now. It's a great time to test out the vehicle's 4x4 abilities, because I think it's going to get slushy very quickly here. A while to realize it was here. Only when I looked down from the top of the mountain and saw it did I know that it was around. It's so well hidden. Gremlins General, I'm sure it does flood in the Mara. I'm sure the Mara River has flooded in the past. I imagine it happens quite regularly with flash floods. I'm not sure how serious the floods would be. I reckon they could be pretty serious. I know that there's an old crossing in the Mara River that we went to go and visit that has been completely washed away, an old concrete causeway. So I'm sure it does flood. Even where we are on the top of the mountain, and a couple of days ago, remember that time that Brent and I were driving back in the rain and Dave was filming from inside Chiku, tucked away safely from the water? Well, that time we arrived and crossed the bridge just after it flooded. There was still a bit of water on the top, but mostly there was lots and lots of debris, so it was clear that the river had come rushing down. Dave, there's a hippopotamus there. I didn't see that on our way up because I couldn't see that side of me. Okay, let's just go see if we can see these lions. Gauge the distance between them and the buffalo and work out what they plan on doing. There's a buffalo. They must be slightly further up the ridge because nobody seems to have stopped here. So it's obviously not a better view. Can't see. I can't peek around the corner. There's a buffalo right here. Maybe the distances... Oh, maybe the distances were quite deceptive. Let's just stop here for a second. Let's just pull off the road. Aha. So, are you okay there, Dave? Yeah. Or are you getting soaking? There's a buffalo bull, and there's a tree that I was using as my marker where the lionesses were earlier. I don't see the lionesses. I think they might have been further from the tree than I realized. And perhaps a little bit further up the ridge. And that would explain why everybody was parked so far away from them. There's obviously not a clear view of them from down here. But I still think as this weather pulls in, if they're going to go anywhere, they're going to come towards the buffalo. But I definitely can't see the lions from here. They must be hidden. An old buffalo bull making his way to rejoin the rest of the herd. Got a little bit of a limp. But 2 lionesses on their own, and I think it is just the 2 of them, I doubt they're going to try and tackle a bull of his size. It is entirely possible. We know that lionesses can do it. But why do that when you can go for a tender buffalo calf and not face those scary horns? He doesn't look like a buffalo that's just walked past 2 lions. Do you think he missed them as well, Dave? He must have. The wind is howling, so he might not have smelt them. He might not even have heard them. I'm going to lurk around here. I feel as though it's a good idea. Can see he's walking very stiffly. Can you see any injuries on him, Dave? I can't. But he doesn't look like he's walking easily. He's walking very, very slowly. Could be that he just tripped and sprained something, pulled a tendon, something on a rock. It is very rocky here. There's lots of holes. Off he goes to join the rest of the herd. Right, I'm going to cover us up a little bit. I can see the water's now really making its way in. So while we do that, James has been brave this afternoon, and he's braving the smell of the decomposing hippopotamus.
Over here, look, there are 5 or 6 hyenas swimming around an expired hippopotamus. A little bit gory. If you are a slightly sensitive viewer, I do apologize. But as the rain starts to fall here in the Masai Mara, these hyenas have started to feast upon the rotting carcass of this hippopotamus. And, well, it really is quite remarkable, because the skin of a hippopotamus is so deeply thick that they would probably, hyenas, they would probably have had to wait for it to get a little bit rancid before they were able to open it up. And you can see that they've just managed to open it up, and they've pulled out a little bit of the belly. Now, I think Jamie was here. I don't know if she was live when she saw this morning, but apparently this these hyenas popped open the stomach, and of course they don't seem to have the same issue with stink that we do. And unfortunately, some of the guests that were around here had to jump in their car and drive away very quickly, because the smell was apparently quite profound. Anyway, we're having a wonderful sighting. The smell is not bad at all, and has gone away. So I do apologize for our absence from this drive. At least we're making some kind of contribution at the moment, but that's good fun at the moment. We're enjoying our hippopotamus. Isn't that remarkable? And all I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear the crunch, crunch, crunch of the skin being sort of taken to pieces. And there is a little bit of smell of rotting going on, but the hyenas are now well and truly into this, and I suppose the water will probably hasten the rotting process. Hello Wallow, you say that you feel like you can smell it from here. Well, I'm not surprised in the slightest. It's actually not that bad. I think it's because of the rain and the wind. I think it would be a lot worse had it been a beatingly hot sort of typical day that we get here, but at the moment it's really quite pleasant. Pleasant is a strong term for what it is, but it is quite interesting. In fact, let's just, can I ask you, Manuel, to just go onto the head of the hippo? Can you see it? Oh, hang on. One of them little one got a little bit cheeky. It's quite interesting. Oh, very nice to see. Oh, says one of them. Yes, sounds are just one of the best things about them. Two little ones now, either looking for comfort or looking to bully a slightly less dominant one herself or himself. Remember, that's how even human beings who get thumped, especially as kids, if a small child gets thumped, he'll often take his frustrations out on an even smaller child. This is just a wonderful, wonderful sighting. Anyway, what I wanted to say about the head was I didn't think that the head was actually too badly eaten. At least I think it was quite badly eaten. There are a whole lot more hyenas coming in now. 1, 2, 3, just off to the right there. Yeah, a couple more coming in now. See what all the ruckus is about. Who's fighting with whom? And 2 youngsters have been scolded and they're moving off. This is brilliant stuff. Manners, are you recording?
I am not.
Great. Now there's a bit of a stink. It smells like sort of rancid wet dog at the moment, which of course hyenas are not, but they are fairly rancid at this stage of the game, and they are wet and they are furry. This is brilliant. I'm just getting some communications from the vehicle next door. He says it's fine, he can see what's going on. I'm very pleased that we finally got some wonderful signal. Now, aka PT Watcher. This is just amazing. Every time I want to say something about them, they start to fight. PT Watcher, you say, did the hyena kill the hippo? No, the hyena did not kill the hippo. I don't think. I think it would... I'm not sure if it died of natural causes. I'm actually not really sure at all how it died. I believe we're still having 1 or 2 audio issues. I'm sorry about that. And we might try and turn up my microphone. You turn up my mic. How's that? Is that a bit better? There we go, that's probably a bit better. Now, how many we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've had another 2. And just behind us I can see 3 more. This is just fantastic. Now the smell's coming. As the wind changes and comes towards us, I can smell hippo guts. Now, if you are a new viewer, first of all, I apologise for the goriness of the scene, but that's just what happens out here. Second of all, what Manuel's filming now, of course, is a young hyena, and the hierarchy of these clans. Oh, there goes the digestive tract. Very nice. Now there's a smell. Whoa. Okay. We're gonna probably move on from here. We've got to head back up the hill, so let's head across to Brent Leo Smith. He's got some lions and some cubs.
Well, we had some lions, well, lion cubs to be more specific. They have disappeared into the long grass here. We actually just lost sight of them. Now, these are the cubs that belong to the lions that Jamie is with. And we've got an Ascari with us tonight, so we're going to stay out a bit later. My name is Brent Leo Smith. I have the incredible Vim, and Vim doesn't have comms, and our audio is low. Thank you, Vim. Vim will fix that now. And we are going to stay out a bit later, so Jamie's probably going to leave in the next 10 minutes or so. I think the cubs are going to keep hiding in here, and I'm going to head and spend an evening with the ladies of the Angama Pride. Very much looking forward to that. Hashtag Safari Live if you've got any questions. Let's see if we go a little bit forward. Let me just wait for the cars, whether we can see one of these little scrumptious monsters. They were just in here, and with this cold, windy weather, they've popped down into the long grass. Vim, let me know if you spot one. Just ahead will do. Where have they gone? Naughty little things. Now, you can see how good their camouflage is. They are right in there somewhere. With 4 of them, and I'm sure the others are probably in one of these thickets, these little bushes that are all around the laga. And these little cubs are often. Oh, look at the long claw displaying. The yellow-throated long claw displaying. Oh, amazing camera work, Vim. Oh, that's incredible. Well done, VMP. Don't land on a lion. Wow! Oh, there we go. There's the competition coming in. Listen to calling. Territorial calling. Oh, there it goes. Now, Djuma was actually talking about birds displaying today. So, there we go. Oh, he's back. He's back, defending his patch, the yellow-throated longclaw. And he's landed. Doom, into the grass. Disappeared like the lion cubs. Remember, hashtag Safari Live if you've got any questions. See, it's not always about the big hairies and scaries. I do love my feathered friends as well. And that was very, very cool. Wonderful camera work by Vim. Now, these lions don't look like they're popping their heads up. So I think I'm going to try one little bit further forward before I start heading towards where Jamie is. Not far away. She's probably about 1.5 kilometers. And actually... Whoa, there's a big hole there. There's a... Okay, this is the first time you're ever seeing me driving Kitu. Kitu is the latest of our vehicles that has made it out. We had a few teething problems when she came, but she is now right as rain. Now, and Vicky is wondering how many lions in the Mara Triangle. Vicky, there's estimated to be anything from 100 to 150. I would say if you said 120, you're pretty close on the money. And now that's just from the prides that I've currently seen. Now, there could be more, there could be a few less, but I would say anything around 100 is a good guesstimate for the number of lions in the triangle itself. So let's have a look. Are there any little cubs to be seen, or they're still hiding in the long grass? Well, I think we're going to leave these little cubs because they're not being very cooperative, hiding in the long grass. We're going to start making our way to the moms. While we do that, let's go to Jamie, who's already with them.
I think the mums are planning what's for dinner for those little cubs with Brent, and it is almost time for Dave and myself to start moving back up the hill before the gate closes. However, just goes to show how deceptive distances are. When we were at the top of that hill, these lions looked as though they were right next to the buffalo herd. Not right next to, but they looked a lot closer than they actually are. I don't believe it. They really are far away. There we go, one lioness is up. Never fear, Brent will be coming along in this direction to take over from us shortly. They're up and about now. There's 1, 2, and then number 3 is off to the right of that shepherd's tree. Apparently not feeling the same enthusiasm that her pride mates are. I don't blame her in this weather. Remember this morning how I spoke about if I were a lion I would hunt zebra and giraffe on the rocks? I wonder, perhaps it's not something they might consider. There are some of the zebra that we saw this morning, and there's buffalo in very close proximity as well. There's topi as well, and there's impala. So there's plenty of food on the slope of this mountain. It just remains to be seen which direction they decide to go in. They're still looking back at us towards the buffalo. Look at that. Picture of symmetry, those two. Underneath the ever-picturesque boskia, or shepherd's tree. What have you got planned, ladies? Why, I mean, Dave, we have to go. Just as things are getting exciting. I'm gonna hope that Brent is on his way. Jess, yes, lions do prefer to hunt when it's raining, and they very often hunt. Well, they're more successful when it's raining because it's windy. The animals can't smell them coming. Their sense of hearing is not as acute as it might otherwise be. So yes, absolutely, lions prefer to hunt in the rain. It causes great confusion, and in fact, the way that it rains out here, visibility is also reduced. Hey, ladies. Dave, shall we start to head towards them to cut them? They're coming towards us. We have to start leaving soon. I haven't seen James go racing past. When I see James go racing past, then I'll know it's time to panic about closing times. Just as they're getting up. Don't worry, though. I'm sure Brent is well on his way already. Okay, Dave. Which way are they going to angle towards? Trying to decide which road to take home. Alright, we need to go off. Perhaps we'll have one last view, but either way, Brent will be on his way. Let's go across... Oh, sorry, Dave. Didn't mean to slide the car forward. Let's go back across to Ali, who's also on the search for lions, but in South Africa.
Well, not quite. The lions are all the way away in areas where we unfortunately can't go. So the game was over before it even started. No, the only two also went looking for the Tamba. Not that he's competitive or anything. So there's a good chance that they're still in the Molowati, which is a dry riverbed, and it's very thick on both sides, and it's just complicated to try and find them there. So we're just gonna go around and check the northern area, or the northern part of where we think she might have gone if she carried on going north. If not, then Tristan's gonna go check the southern side. Hopefully he'll get lucky, and we shall see. Hopefully we'll let you guys know, of course. Hopefully Tristan will have a bit more good news, and if not, I think maybe it's worth going down towards Twin Dams, because I think lots of things have been lurking around there. Hello, Mr. Nyala. Good to see you here. How are you doing? Beautiful. You do love this area, don't you? Lots of Nyalas around the drainage lines and the thickets. Very similar to Kruger in the sense that they prefer to live in those areas where it's much denser and the vegetation is much denser. You can see that he's clearly feeling a bit more comfortable when he goes in there. Oh, are you stalking us? Quite a nice bull. Oh, you're going all the way. Stunning. What a stunning animal this is. I'm sure he's on the lookout also for some females. And I don't think I'll ever get tired of saying this. Just the difference between the females and the males. This is a completely black, almost very dark brown, if you wanna say animal, and then the females are of that beautiful reddish color, very different to the males, and it's just such a difference between the two sexes that it's just, I don't know, I find it incredibly interesting of how they've evolved to look so different, and it's probably just to be able to recognize each other from a distance and find out immediately if it's a male or a female. But I think it's one of those things, one of those striking features in nature that is never going to stop surprising me. I think it's going all the way back there, flagging their tail. Alright, we shall leave you, boy, and carry on driving, see if perhaps maybe there will be something coming out close to the dam. Lisa, you say that you love that he's getting his winter coat. I love it too. I think it's cold now that now that all of the creatures are a bit colder than in the summer month, they all seem to be hairier and they're changing into their winter coats. Just normally the hair tends to be a bit thicker, just to protect them from the temperatures or the cold temperatures, especially during the night. But I think this is one of the clever ones as well, because in terms of the geography of where we, or the areas of more altitude respect to the sea level. So up here is going to be a lot warmer than down there by the drainage line, or where Twin Dams is, or just even where the lodge is. So quite a clever creature. But he was looking fantastic, wasn't he? Okay, roller coaster road. While I surf through this, let's go over to Tristan, who tried helping, but also didn't go too far into having too much luck either.
Nice, very, very nice. I even got buffalo thorned in the leg, drew blood, trying to help find these leopards, and that's the thanks I get. It's okay, I'll remember this now. Next time, it's Ali on her own when it comes to trying to find Tundi and Tumba, and that's why Tundi and Tumba are hiding from her, because they can pick up that vibe. Hey, Seb.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, still in the area, I went for a long, well, not a long walk, but I walked around and I found their tracks crossing the Mulawati, heading in a northeasterly direction, as we knew already, and from there they then just go into quite a thick, dense area, and it becomes very difficult to see. Also, didn't really have the time to spend a long time on foot. It's getting quite dingy and dark now, and so it's actually time to start trying to find the spotlights soon. And so I think that they're somewhere coming back to the east. We know that Tundi ventured much further than she normally ventured this morning, so she went quite far west. She hung around in that area, and I think maybe, just maybe, she's now pushing back to where she feels a little bit more comfortable, which would be around Chitwa, Torchwood, Cheetah Cut Line. So I'm trying to see if maybe she just went a little bit further east than any of us picked up, and that her tracks just came straight across. It's very possible she's come into an area like this. We also know that the Birmingham male, when he was walking the other day, I followed him all the way from Leadwood. He came straight in the line that we're in now and went through, so she could easily follow a very similar route, and we could maybe pick her up in somewhere in this section. So that's why I'm just having a look around here. It's always worth a try, and you never ever know what's round the next corner, so that's what we're trying. Something different from everyone else. Everyone's checking a little bit further north, so we're going to try and check a bit further to the east and the south. Even though the tracks point as though they're going to north, sometimes what a leopard will do is go around, and then slowly but surely its course changes back the way that it came. So it's a long shot, but it's a shot nonetheless. Susie, you say poor Fergalicious didn't get a leopard. Well, Fergalicious got leopard this morning, a nice big dose of it, so you can't complain too much. I think Seb is the one that we really need to find a leopard for, because Ferg had the lions the whole of yesterday, he had the leopard this morning, he had leopard yesterday morning, so Ferg has been very spoilt, and well, Seb unfortunately has been doing all the hard yards, filming the squirrels and the mongoose and the plants, and it's time for, I think, for Seb to get a good sighting. It's a pleasure, Seb, no problem. Hopefully we'll be able to find one for you this evening. That's what I'm hoping. You know what, Seb? Patience is a virtue, and good things come to those who wait. And you'll see you're going to be spoilt with something very special, I can tell you right now. That's what the bush gives to those that are patient and those that are happy with even the small things. That's what I've learnt. And well, look at Byron. Byron had a tough run of it. He was battling to find animals. In fact, both of us were, and then we had both got quite lucky and we got to see some cool stuff. So it will go around, and the cycles happen in the bush, and you've got to take the bad with the good sometimes. But yes, Ferg, I think Ferg can just sit and take it easy for now. He's had a magical 2 days, that's for sure. In fact, yes, last night Ferg was even complaining to me that we saw so much yesterday morning that he ran out of space on his memory card to film some of it and record things, and he was trying to quickly delete in our lion sighting, and was getting quite frustrated because every time he tried to delete, the lions would do something. So he was not a happy boy yesterday morning. But there we go, there's a sign of life, and something that definitely Tundi goes after fairly regularly, and that is a scrub hare. So our first nocturnal animals are starting to come out. The sun is down, and it is that time of the day, and this is the time when leopards really move. We know leopards are crepuscular, and so finding these kind of guys out means that the leopards are probably now already starting to move around and try and hunt varying animals of this description. But that is a perfect example of the difference between a hare and a rabbit, is just the way that hare is sitting for us right now. You can see, look at how long the legs are in the front. Rabbits or bunnies have much shorter legs than what hares do. These hares, long legs built to run very, very quickly and are very agile. You can also see the ears incredibly long in comparison to what you'd see on a bunny, and they are also have these massive eyes that they use at night. Remember, the hares are far more active at night than what bunnies are. Bunnies are more active during the day, and so that's quite a nice example of just the differences between the two. And look at how that nose is on overdrive, trying to sniff around and see what's going on. And shame, I always feel sorry for these guys, because it must be a tough life. Imagine every night having to try and stay away from all of these predators that are out. Not only do you have, oh, little grooming action. You're quite chilled, aren't you? That's cool. Generally, scrub hares are running away from us, so quite nice to actually see one having a little groom. Very nice. And so I was just saying, the predators that are here, I mean, they get owls that hunt them. There's all the smaller cats like wild cats, serval, caracal, then leopard, lion, wild dogs, cheetah. There's so many things that go after poor scrub hares that it really isn't a very pleasant experience to be one. I imagine it must be tough when the sun goes down. It must be absolutely petrified throughout the night as things roam around. Luckily for them, though, they are agile and super fast, which means that they can sometimes just get away from the predators that are around. Right, well, I'm going to turn off my lights. Sorry, little scrub hare, but it's time for you to just move out the way, if possible, please, because we would like to come around you. I don't want to chase you, but we're on a leopard mission, and we want to find a leopard. So we're going to try and pass you. No, don't run that way. There we go. Good. Right. Well, we are south, like I said. We are looking, we are searching the southern perimeters in case Tundi came to the east and south. And Ali has got the northern side covered and is checking around Gowrie Dam. Maybe she'll get lucky with Tundi and Tumba that side.
Well, not lucky with the leopards yet, but with this beautiful sunset. Well, or what it's left of the sunset. I'm mesmerized always by these beautiful views of water and trees in the distance, and just those beautiful colors as the sun starts going down. I think it's one of those great moments where you just have to pretty much take everything in, and I used to do it a lot when I was living in the city, just see the sun and take that 1 minute where the sun is definitely going out, just to pretty much still yourself and enjoy everything that you've seen and everything that you've done for the day. Oh, that's beautiful. All the reflections of the trees and the grass growing in the water, the little ripples of the creatures that are below, probably lots of tiny insects that are feeding in the water. Very, very nice setting, isn't it? That would be a beautiful photograph, I think. Oh, that would be perfect. Ferg, I think your artsy side is showing very nicely as of late. We are all very impressed. Have you ever thought about professional photography? Or are you sticking to recording cameras?
Photographers.
This cameraman has got his heart set on video. Well done. This is very beautiful indeed.
Caught up with the gorgeous Angama girls, and they are living up to their pride's name, and we are below Angama and our camp, and Vivian will show you in a second. We just want to see where they're going. Now, there were a lot of zebra, buffalo, warthog, hartebeest, topi, impala, all in this area. And you can see, not starving, but they could definitely do with a snack. A bit of scent marking. Now, what is that girl up there doing? She seems a bit more intent. There could be some potential warthog holes around here. No, she's losing interest. We have buffalo down the valley. So there is literally a smorgasbord of snacks for a lion surrounding us at the moment. But there we go. Have a look up top. Oh, sorry, Vim. I'll say hello again. Oh, welcome back. But have a look up top. There's the incredibly beautiful final control. There we go. That's where Rebecca is sitting and talking to us from. But if we come to the left on the cliff face, in probably one of the most spectacular spots in the whole world, to sit and enjoy an afternoon beverage while looking over one of Africa's greatest wilderness areas, and that's North Camp of Angama Mara. And the Angama girls are hunting in the shadows. Janet's wondering, are lions seen up at the top of the hill around the camps? I know lions have been seen in Angama Mara before, but generally not. Up and behind there is Maasai land, and there's lots of cattle and men in red shukas, and the lions of the Masai Mara have learnt that a red shuka is a very dangerous thing, and they tend to stay away, and even seem to be, in certain cases, I've seen them look scared from the sound of a cowbell. Now, she's heard something. I also heard it. It sounded like Impala rutting in the direction. She is. I can't see anything just yet. This is ideal hunting weather. There's a nice strong breeze coming from the north, so they're hunting into the wind. And, of course, cloud cover, so very little ambient light around, which will give them some of the best opportunities to possibly catch something. Now, of course, we found out this morning why the fourth lioness isn't with the pride so often, and that's because she's got 3 little monsters, and they are, I guess, about between 5 and 6 weeks old, and they haven't been introduced into the pride just yet. So that is very exciting. The Angama pride has grown by 3. There are now 10 cubs, 4 adult lionesses. Oh, off she goes. We still do have some of our rain covers on, and it is quite windy and rainy still. We've got to keep the camera dry, and this is going to be really, really exciting. Lisa says this mom's thinking about what's on the menu for tonight. Indeedy. So it is going to be quite interesting to see what they do. So the most important time to be with lions on the hunt is from about now, sort of from an hour before sunset to 2 hours after sunset, and then again from about 2 hours before sunrise to an hour after sunrise. Hunting, and of course when the migration comes, it's just sort of pick a wildebeest at will, but outside of that time they do have their most success in those periods. Well, these 2 girls are getting lazy. I can't see where the other one went. She went behind us. I'm just going to have a quick turn around, see where she went. Looking back forlornly at her pride mates, going, "Come on, guys, enough lounging about. It's time for din-dins." Now I'm just going to make sure, yes, that if I look back, I can see both the others. She looks like she's got a plan. She's looking towards where we heard those animals a bit earlier. AKA is wondering, are those suckle marks? Indeedy they are. She's got, I think some of those 7 cubs that are about 1.5 kilometers from here belong to her. She's also going to take a seat and survey her vast domain. Now, and it is a beautiful domain. Look at that. Exquisite. Yes, it is Impala ratting I can hear in the distance. Now, 3 girls, 7 cubs, 1 Impala. I don't think it's going to cut it. I think they should go buffalo hunting, but they don't seem to hunt buffalo particularly, these girls. I saw a single buffalo chase all 4 of them away, and that's just because he wanted to go graze where they were sleeping. And they were hungry, and they didn't even try to leap upon him. But with such a variety of food around, they don't really need to hunt big and dangerous things like buffalo. Now, as you can see, we're not going to have much of a sunset tonight. It's grey skies and wet and windy, but that excites me because it's some of the best lion hunting weather. But let's go to Tristan, who's apparently only looking for scrub hares and looking at the sunset.
Well, Brent, I'm sure you're going to have lots of fun tonight, because when it is wet and windy and wild, that is when the lions get out and start moving. So pretty jealous of Brent and Jamie and the fact that they've got so much on that side this afternoon, as opposed to our rather quiet afternoon on Djuma. But what they don't have is the beauty that is Djuma, and we have trees and life and lots of biodiversity here, which is fantastic. And so the two together just really complement one another. We get these very intimate sightings of no, that's not Tundi or Tumba. I thought it was for a second, but we get intimate sightings. We get lots of beautiful big trees, and well, there's just something about the Sabi Sands that is just a special place. And then when you combine that with the open beauty of the Mara, the two of them together just really go hand in hand. So I'm so excited that we've got the two of them up and running now, and it just seems to be such an interesting kind of study on how different ecosystems work, as well as the fact that it's just really bringing lots and lots of interactive experiences and great sightings from across Africa, which is the main aim of what we're trying to do. So hopefully all of you at home are enjoying having both feeds as much as we are. It's always so good, and it's great that we get to catch up with all our friends that side, and it's not just new people that we don't know that are on that side. It's, you know, all the guys that we know very well, and that we can actually get hold of them and speak to them and find out how they're doing, and they tell us all these exciting stories, and they want to know about all the characters here, and we get to tell them about how little Shongololo is or how Hassan is doing. And that really is the best part about it, is that it's such a sort of joint effort, and that we've got this thing going together makes life that much better. I'm just going to turn off my lights because I don't want to blind the oncoming traffic that is coming my way. So let them turn that way. I just wanted to see, because there was a vehicle there that was not on the road at all, so I was just checking to see if there was anything there. I might get hold of them quickly, because a vehicle was driving so south of Baboon Pan. Now there's a road that runs on the eastern side of Baboon Pan, but they were driving on the western side. Yeah.
Alright, sorry guys, seems like Tristan has had a bit of bad luck fighting the gremlins, but fear not, we are here to take you guys along on the ride. We are looking for pretty much any nocturnal creature, so I think I would really like to see a porcupine tonight. We got so lucky yesterday with 7. I think in that particular area where we were, although the visual wasn't great of that one that we found, I've never seen so many bush babies in my life. I think we saw about 6, 7 different one of them. Unfortunately, they were all bouncing around in the trees quite far away from us, so sometimes it's a bit hard to show, because all you see is the reflection of the eye while they're jumping around. But who knows, maybe we'll see some around here, although maybe we will need Byron, the bush baby whisperer, Lord and Commander, to be able to spot quite a few for us. But I'll carry on trying, and hopefully we'll have... What is that on the road? Are you... Ah, you are a nightjar. So, it's a little nocturnal creature. Little bird, there we go, flying away. They normally like to come and sit on the roads while they wait for the insects to start moving around, or anything that they can catch. But it's a bit unfortunate sometimes, because they are on the road, so we have to be careful just to make sure that we don't run them over. And again, we are patrolling as a leopard would the area. Oh, my goodness, seems like Tristan's got lucky, so let's go over to him and see what he's got.
We do indeed. It looks like our friend Tingana is lying there. You can see a little white tip to the tail, and I know it's really bad, but it is very far away at this stage. It's right on the southern side of Baboon Pan, and look how eerie that looks. His glowing eyes in the dark. Isn't that cool? Now, apparently he's got a kill in the Mulawati just south of the boundary here, and I wonder, maybe he stole it from Tundi and Tumba this morning, because they were not far from here at all, and I think it's very possible that this male leopard might have stolen that kill. But he's now just sleeping in the grass, taking it easy. I'm sure he came for a drink, and maybe this is whose tracks we were seeing earlier, although those were much too small for Tingana. But that's definitely him lying in the grass, and I'm hoping he's going to stand up and maybe walk towards where we are. At least we got lucky enough to actually see him and see a silhouette of him, and that at least means that we found a leopard this drive, which, there we go, competitive streak, Seb. I know it's not good, but we won. So we had to throw that in there because, of course, we've been absolutely sort of hammered on this today, and so you can see just how far it is where I'm sitting as opposed to where the leopard is a long way away. I suppose I could edge all of about 3 meters forward, but I think with the sort of way that we are, is he up and moving there, Seb? It looks like he might be. I don't know, I thought I saw him move. Or did he go down? No, still sitting in exactly the same place. He's just turned around and rolled around, and there you can see the beady eyes focusing back at us. That is very eerie, and that's something that nightmares are made of, especially with the flashes in the background. It almost looks like lightning flashing behind him, and there he is, just silhouetted in the darkness. Very, very cool. I like that. So for those of you who like the screenshots, that's quite an eerie one of a leopard. Now we're going to sit with Tingana a little bit longer and just see if he doesn't come back or tries to maybe walk towards us, since he is facing us. And while we do that, I believe Brent is still with the other predators, and they are up and moving.
We've got the Angama girls are on the move. They're being quite wonderfully playful as well. So they're jumping on each other, enjoying the cool weather. And you can see that wildebeest they ate yesterday really did not touch sides. And they're off on the hunt again. This is very exciting. Now, we're going to keep up with them. I'm already in low range. Be able to leave the road with them, and I've got a little secret. Can you believe we're the only vehicle out in the Masai Mara, the whole reserve? We're the only car. We've got this wilderness wonderland all to ourselves. So they're heading down from below Angama, and they're heading down towards the Mara River, which is that dark line of trees you can see in the distance. And between there and here, I'm sure there's something that might garner more than a casual interest from these gorgeous girls. It's quite chilly, quite windy, but I'm warm as anything at the prospect of following these ladies. I've got my shuka. I'm ready to spend some time out here. We've got coffee, we got dinner, so we're all prepared. Sorry, I got a little bit of radio break up there, Rebecca. Sorry, sometimes it depends on where we are. We can't, the radio for some reason, oh no, they're on the move again. I'm going to point the radio at Rebecca, see if I can hear her this time. Now, James is wondering, do any of the lion prides specialize in hunting in the forested areas? Not really, James, and there's actually no real need to hunt in the forested areas. You don't have the density of animals that they do there. I think they might occasionally grab something in one of the thicker areas, but they definitely have more success, especially with the length of grass that it is at the moment. And I haven't really ever seen lions so far since I've been here in forested areas. Around the Mara River in the thickets, yes, I've seen them there. I suppose you could consider that a forested area. So Paradise Pride like to lie in ambush for animals coming to drink around the river. But I think that's about it. But we'll have to wait and see. And that's one of the wonderful things we're gonna learn more and more as we spend time out here. Hi, Paula. Paula is wondering why the Djuma team can stay out later than the Mara team, and why I'm still out when James and Jamie have had to dash back up the hill to home. Now, while Djuma is on private land, and you have to pay a private individual whatnot to access that land or a lodge. The Mara is owned by the Maasai people. It is a national reserve. It is open to the public. You can pay your park fees, and there we go, having a bit of games. You can pay your park fees and then enter into the park. And being that said, that it has a very specific gate closing time, and it's not like the private land where you don't have the public driving around, and that's why also the off-roading rules here are quite different. And the reason that I'm still out with VMP is because we have got permission, firstly, and we have an Askari who is one of the game scouts who looks after the reserve, or does anti-poaching, makes sure people are behaving, and he's on the back of the vehicle. And the condition of us being able to go out at night and follow animals hunting is to have an Askari with us. Now, the reason James and Jamie went back is that because we are going to be starting our build-up and rehearsals and things like that, and we all take turns to do sort of different shifts, so I'm on the night shift, and I'm quite happy to be here. We've got lions hunting, so I'm in seventh heaven, and so is Viam for that matter. Viam loves a good cat hunt. And that's the main reason. But now, the very cool thing is, I hope you guys are ready for some action, because after the end of the Safari Live show, when Djuma goes home, I don't. I'm going to stay out with these cats. So keep a full eye on our Safari Live Facebook page, because we could go live at any second, like we did last night, with the leopard grabbing the warthog, James and lions feasting on a wildebeest, and meeting the happy zebra hyena clan. So stay tuned to, hopefully you've managed to figure out how to put the notification on the Safari Live Facebook page, and it'll tell you when we're going to go live. We could go live once, we could go live 5 times. We'll just have to see how it goes. But one of the really cool things about being in the Mara is we're going to let nature dictate the schedule. And of course, that's why we're here, to watch nature. And every asset of it, or facet, sorry, not asset. So it's very exciting for us to be able to follow these animals. So, if you want to see me later, keep an eye on the Safari Live Facebook page. But in the meantime, Tristan is finally found something that is not a scrub hare.
No, well, I did have something, but unfortunately the other vehicle is left, and so we've got really no chance. It's just eyes glowing in the distance. My light is not powerful enough to highlight where Tingana is, but he's there. You can just see that's his eyes glowing at the moment. earlier when the light was on him, unfortunately we could really see. Now I've had to turn my light off so I don't blind this vehicle that comes past, but what we're going to try to do is I'm going to try put my lights on one more time and just see if I can't get the infrared out, and maybe that will help, but I don't think so. Now that their light has disappeared, I don't think we're going to have any luck. Interestingly enough, there is also kudu alarm calling just to our northern side here, so right where I saw those young male leopard tracks earlier, there is a kudu barking there, so I think maybe little Hasana is somewhere just to my northern side here as well. Tingana hasn't really reacted, but I think that's where he is. Seb, should we try infrared and just see? Maybe we get lucky. Yeah, let's try your light as well. We're going to try a combo here. Let's do a combo system, Brent, and see if we can't get something. I feel like I'm like poor Tingana is being absolutely obliterated with light, but he's not facing us. Just try and see if you can find the glow up a little bit. There he is. And let's try an infrared and see if we can't get anything, because infrared gives us a little bit more contrast. It's a bit grainy, but there we go. There is a leopard sitting on top of that hill there. Now just now we would have had a little bit more light, which would have helped, and even though our infrared is very good, it's just not powerful enough to do the 300 meters or so that our leopard is sitting at the moment. Seb, I've actually got a good idea. If you just leave it on that for now, I know it's going to go dark, but I'm going to try something quickly, because I think, maybe, just maybe, I have an idea here, and this might work. So I know it's pitch black at the moment, and I do apologize, but it's not black screen, you haven't lost us. But what I'm going to try and do is just try and see if my headlights can't reach there as well as the two spotlights, and try and give the infrared as much light as is possible. So you can see there we already got a little bit more of a flood, and now I'm going to get my two guns out and try and see if we can't get a bit more light on Tingana. There we go. Is that better, Sid?
Nice one, please.
There we go. Much better indeed. So there's Tingana, still sitting and listening to these kudu alarm calls just to my north, and I'm surprised he hasn't come to investigate. I suppose he's got meat, so he doesn't really have to worry too much, but I was surprised that he was kind of in that area and actually, well, I didn't come and investigate who these kudu are barking at, especially if it could be another leopard. I thought maybe, just maybe, he might come and see what was going on and come further north. Now there is another vehicle that's going to come past, so we're going to just say hello to them as they do, but our leopard is way in the distance at the moment, which makes it quite difficult to see. Hello guys, how are you doing? So you can just see he's just kind of watching the ongoings, and it definitely is Tingana, just looking by the face from here. I know we can't see spot patterns, but he's got that kind of longer face and that little dopey look about him, which makes him look just like Tingana. Now there is a vehicle that's going to come past, so I don't want to blind them. You can go, Info. You can go. So I'm just letting Andries go, and like I said, I'm just taking the light off because I don't want to blind the guests that are unfortunately in front of us now. But the good news is that that car is going to go to that leopard, which means that we're going to get a little bit more light on it, Seb, and that's going to be a much better situation. So there he is. You can just see the light, well, the eye glowing in there. So hopefully once that vehicle gets into that sighting, we're definitely going to have a lot more light to work with, and therefore it should be a lot cleaner, and we'll be able to give you a much better image. So there we go, you can see the light is adding a little bit to it. Now, so I'm going to try and give you a bit more, but there it is there. It looks like Tingana is starting to fall asleep now. I suppose with a big full belly he's going to, and I'm 100% sure he stole this carcass from Tundi and Tumba. They came from this area, and it would seem to me that they did indeed steal the carcass. Now the other vehicle is just going around a little bit and is going to just put the light on him. There we go, you'll see it will start coming now, and once that light is on him, it's really going to make a big difference for us. It's pretty amazing how well the spotlight of another car can work to help us see his ears. So there we go, you can just see the glow of his eyes in the darkness. Imagine seeing that when walking in the bush. It certainly would freak most people out if you were walking around and just saw this faint eyes glowing back at you as you moved around. So Larissa, you say classic Tingana, Mr. Last Minute. Well, indeed, that is exactly how he is. It's not surprising at all that he is around here and that he is busy sitting, being, well, last minute-ish and sitting just out of our reach. That's also Tingana's modus operandi is that while he is last minute, it's generally these out of reach areas and tough to find, and it becomes a difficult thing to see. So he's become famous for this, and well, you know what, I'm not going to complain. I'd rather take a last minute leopard than no leopard whatsoever, wouldn't you, Seb?
Yeah, for sure.
There we go, and I'm sure many of you at home would too. And considering how our days panned out, it's not been too bad at all to have the 3 leopards, so Tandi, Tumba, Tingana, and you can see, look at all my lights. I feel like I'm in a war movie with my guns, and I'm just like so it's been pretty spectacular actually to have the 3 leopards here at Djuma, and then to have the lion prides up in the Mara, so both Jamie and Brent with that, and then the hippo hyena interaction. So once again, another predator filled day on Safari Live. It's really been a fantastic experience, and besides the predators, lots of little things as well, and so it's really been very, very cool, and long may it continue, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure that all the presenters will say that they're loving the fact that we are having such a blessed run with predators at the moment, so hopefully it will continue. And now we just need our elephants back here in Djuma, and everything will be a lot better. Now, from all of us that have joined you this afternoon, so the very long list of presenters that were out and about, James, Jamie, Brent, myself, Seb, Ali and Ferg, it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow morning.